Please welcome former Governor Tom Vilsack and President Bill Clinton.
My job today is to introduce someone who doesn't really need an introduction, and I thought what I would do today is to extend a series of thank yous to this man for the job that he did as our president. Get up here. Mr. President, thank you for 22 million jobs. Thank you for extending health care for children. Thank you for balancing the budget and creating a surplus. Thank you for peace and prosperity. Thank you for having America be the most respected nation on earth. He was a peacemaker and a job creator. He was and is an uncommon leader who has never lost the common touch. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Bill Clinton, the former President of the United States.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you, Governor Vilsack. I want to thank you and Christy for your support, which has been amazing for Hillary, and even more for your friendship, and for giving her the best single piece of advice she's gotten in this whole caucus process. Just go out there and trust the people of Iowa. Tell them what you want to do and trust them. I hope you all know that on Thursday the future of the world will be on your shoulders. Don't sweat it, be loose, don't feel any pressure. Thank you for serving. I thank you all for coming out. I am very grateful for your presence and for giving me a chance to make a case for my candidate for president. What you have to do is pick the person who will be the best president. Based on everything I know of the presidency, and what I believe are the great challenges facing our country at home and around the world, I don't think it's a close question. I think Hillary is the best candidate I've had a chance to support for president in the 4 years I've been a voter, and I want to tell you why. When you pick a president, it seems to me that there are 4 things that are relevant. First, what is the candidate's vision for America? How are we going to change things? What difference do you want to make? Second, what are your plans for making that vision real? Third, can you do it? Can you turn good intentions into real changes in other people's lives? You know, this election is going to be covered as a great horse race. But the truth is, it's not about the candidates, it's about you. You and your children and your grandchildren. It's actually America's grandest job interview. You're picking someone to lead this country, to leave it better off, to leave our children with a better future. Who can actually make those kinds of changes? And the 4th thing you want to know is, who is a strong enough leader, first, to run the gauntlet of the general election and win, and secondly, to deal not only with the challenges of implementing the commitments made, but to deal with whatever else might come up. An enormous test of leadership is the ability to both pursue what you promise the people you do and do a fine job of handling whatever happens that we don't discuss in Iowa. So those are the things I want you to think about. And let me run through what I take to be the case for Hillary. First of all, what is her vision for America? She thinks we've been on the wrong track at home and around the world, and we need to make a new beginning. First, to restore the middle-class dream in this country, to give people a chance to make a good living, educate their children, provide health care. In spite of the fact that we're in the 6th year of an economic recovery, median family income, the ones in the middle, has declined $1,000. Cost of college education has exploded to the point now where a student that graduates in the bottom 25% of his or her high school class, but is in the top 25% of income, has a better chance to finish a 4-year college on time than a student in the top 25% of the class, but in the bottom 25% of family income. That is not good for America. It's not fair, it's not right, and it's bad for our future. And if you look at health care, premiums have increased about 100% in this decade. We've had an increase of people losing their health insurance while working full-time in the middle of a so-called recovery. And now we have 1/6 of our people with no health insurance ever, 1/3 who have no health insurance at some time during the year, and as I'm sure you in the audience can testify, there are a lot of people who think they've got health insurance until they file a claim and they're told, "I'm sorry, this is not covered." And now, of course, we have the mortgage crisis that's moving around in uneven ways throughout the country. So we have to restore the idea that if you work hard and you're a responsible citizen, you can get an education, get a good job with a growing income, take care of the health care needs of your family, own a home, and basically live a good life. That has been imperiled. Inequality has increased dramatically in America in the last 7 years. Almost all the benefits of this recovery have gone to the top 10% of earners. Half of that to the top 1%, a big percent of that to the top 1/10 of 1%. And the administration has made it worse by giving that 1/10 of 1% 5 tax cuts, deepening the deficit and compromising us. So we've got to restore the middle-class dream. Second thing we have to do is to restore America's standing in the world for peace and for prosperity and for security. Over half the world's mad at us, you know. And it's only partly because of Iraq. It's also because we walked away from the Climate Change Treaty, we walked away from nuclear nonproliferation, we walked away from the Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty. We insisted on being the only country in the world not subject to the International Criminal Court on war crimes. We even disavowed the Geneva Conventions for a long time on the treatment of people captured in wartime, over the opposition of our own senior military leadership who knew that it would put our own soldiers at greater risk. We basically said it's our way or the highway. So what Hillary proposes to do is to change that. First, by getting out of Iraq, the military conflict, as quickly as we can without making it worse. Second, by emphasizing the imperative of following through on the whole world's determination to save the moderate Muslim democracy in Afghanistan and not let the Al-Qaeda and the Taliban come back. Even more important now, given recent events in Pakistan. And in a larger sense, to send a new message to the world. A message in 2 parts. Number one, she proposes to say to the world, we know there is nearly no problem we can solve by ourselves, whether it's terrorism or global warming or the spread of disease. So from now on, we're going to cooperate with you whenever we can and act alone only when we have to, not the other way around. Number two, she wants to say, we know we need a good military and we're proud of it and we're concerned that it's so overstrained now. But we also know that in the modern world, the single most expensive option you can take is the military one. It costs more in terms of people losing their lives, people being horribly wounded. The financial costs are enormous, $120 million a year in Afghanistan, billion a year in Iraq alone. It also is costly in terms of the fact that you can't throw around big weapons without unintended consequences, which alienate other people. So from now on, we're going to pursue vigorous diplomacy with friend and foe alike as long as we can, and we will use military force only as an absolute last resort, not the other way around. Her third new beginning is to reclaim the future for the young people of this country in two senses. One, we've got to restore America's leadership in science and technology and innovation. It is badly at risk now. First, because we have underfunded basic scientific research, which is the source of our future economic opportunities. And secondly, because we've let the politicians and the ideologues pervert the scientific enterprise to an extent never before known in America. We've got people that don't know anything about the subjects rewriting reports on everything from stem cell research to climate change just to fit their political agenda, and it is bad for America. We're going to put us back on the forefront of progress in science and technology. That's what she wants to do.